And I am live. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having, instead of Wednesday, an amazing Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody is doing good and feeling beautiful and feeling empowered and feeling lovely. And I hope everybody is feeling an awesome experience. All right. I hope everybody's feeling having an awesome experience. So welcome. So today I want to just talk about a few things when it comes to healing, when it pertains to healing our minds, healing our soul and our bodies. Unfortunately, we don't have enough people who speaks on these things. Everybody just speaks on a whole bunch of obvious things, but we don't go deep in the root of the behaviors. We quick to blame everybody. We blaming our past, our parents, our ex-boyfriend, girlfriends, ex-husbands, wife, and I want us to, no matter what's the cause of our suffering, it's very important that we find our healing. And I know healing is an overused term, but I just want you to be okay. I want you to be good. I want you to be peaceful, be powerful, be empowered. So, how are you guys doing? I hope everybody's having a lovely day. I hope you ain't working too hard. I hope you ain't stressed. I hope you ain't miserable. I hope you ain't, man, my hair ain't, you know. So, let me know who's here. Anybody here right now? I don't want to start talking by myself because this is a live. I don't want to start talking by myself and I'm the only one who's listening because that's not fun to me. You know what I mean? So, what's going on with y'all? How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing, YouTube? How are y'all doing? What's good? What's good? Oh, you all at work busy today? Well, I guess I should start talking anyways. Listen, a lot of us go through so much stuff. Oh, we have went through so much stuff. We have gone through so much, and we are carrying the things that we have went through with us still. We're carrying it everywhere we go. We take it with, we take them with us. And I think we have come to a point where we are tired and drained, and some of us are experiencing those things that we are carrying in our bodies, and our bodies are fed up. Our bodies are rebelling against what we are carrying. Our bodies are getting sick. It's getting ill. It's breaking down. We have all these conditions going on, and instead of fixing these conditions or fixing the way how we perceive what happened to us, all we are doing, we are blaming someone else. We are pointing the finger of someone else. That's why we have it. And as we point the fingers, we realize that we are still sick. We are still bitter. We are still anxious. We are, we are still depressed. Our bodies hurt, our back hurts, our chest hurts, our shoulders hurt, our neck hurts, and we carrying all this pain and we blaming people. And I want to tell you, listen, you don't have to carry the pain or you don't have to blame people. You don't have to do either. You don't have to carry the pains anymore. And you don't have to blame people anymore. It's really up to you. Now, is anybody on here right now?
Do you want me?
Is anybody on here right now? Is anybody on here? Let me see if you guys are on here. Because if nobody's on here, I don't want to keep talking. Let me at least talk to somebody. Let me talk to somebody. Oh man. Hey Kelly, how you doing? Hello, Kamama. How you doing? Listen, man. Ain't life beautiful though? How y'all doing today? How are y'all doing today? You all good? Hey Jocelyn, how are you doing? Good morning. One of my favorite person. How y'all doing? Everybody's having a beautiful day. Blessed morning. It is kind of rainy over here in Georgia. I made a video last night, and the video is I made a short last night, and it was with a song playing, and I guess my head was down. Doing okay, you just working, and my head was down, and somebody commented and said, the people who teach people how to heal are the ones who going through so much, and that was just a video. It wasn't, Uh, listen, I can be honest with you guys, man. Everybody's not going through things. Everybody's not going through a lot of things. I don't go through a lot of things. I don't experience a lot of things because I know how to look at things the way how I want to look at things so that my benefits have changed. I look at things as they benefit me. I don't look at things so I can, I think if we understand how to look at things and we have a choice to look at things a certain way to not make you sick, to not make us tired, to not make us drained, to not make us feel miserable, to not make us feel jealous, to not make us feel insecure. If we learn to look at things differently, yeah. If we learn to look at things, is raining there too? Okay. If we learn to look at things in a way that benefits us, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be perfectly okay. Everything that happens, if we look at things the way how we should, we won't suffer that much. We won't suffer. We won't be that miserable. But I think we just take everything personal because we think, hey, we should. It's happening to me. Nothing is happening to you. Do you know that nothing is happening to you? It's just how you perceive things. Many of us, yes, our bodies are being sick. Some of us, our families are being, as you call it, attacked, and you think it's you. It's not you. Your friends are doing things, and you think it's you. Your partner's doing something, and you think it's you. Somebody commented on one of my videos and say, I need help. I need help. My husband is doing such and such. And to me, my first answer is, you don't need help. He needs help. Oh, that was you, Jocelyn? No, it was somebody that's write a long comment. I don't go through things like that. That was just a content. It's just, sometimes I make content that matches what I say. You know what I'm saying? So like if I put a comment or if I put if I put a caption, I just act it out. You know what I'm saying? It's just content. Um yeah, so she said, "Oh my God, I'm dying. I need help." And I'm like, you don't need help. My husband is doing such and such. It sounds like your husband needs help. I think many times we carry our burdens of the other people without realizing it's not ours to carry. And of course, if you carry somebody else's pain, you're going to be inflicted. I think we carry people's pain and think just because we are in relationship to something, that is my somebody, that's my girlfriend, that's my boyfriend, that I need assistance. No, if a person is, everybody must go through their own stuff. See what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Everybody must go through their own stuff. We all do. We all must go through our own stuff. And we can't just because that's your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, we can't do it for them. And we're not supposed to, always feel like you know what I mean? Like we're not supposed to always feel like it's us. Oh my God, I'm suffering because my boyfriend, my girlfriend. It's him that needs to suffer. And sometimes we feel all this pain and you realize that your boyfriend or girlfriend ain't suffering. They are doing it happily, and they're gonna do it again, and they're enjoying what they are doing. And while you suffer, it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. So I'm telling you guys, many of you, the suffering that you carry ain't yours. I'm not downloading today. What do you mean? Come, mama. That's what I'm saying. Many times the issues that we have is not even our issues. Sometimes it's your children's issue. I had to tell my daughter just the other day, listen, this is your issue. That's not mine. I know I'm your daddy, but you're the one who did this. So I'm not suffering for you. I can't. I think we are so used to suffering and we do it so often, and everybody around us is doing the same suffering, and everybody around us finding reasons to suffer that we feel like we should be suffering too. And we shouldn't. Because when you're suffering, you don't find the right answers. Right? Come on, for real. I think when we suffer in our minds, we leave the present. Our minds shift back to the past or the future, and we're not thinking straight. So we got to be careful. We got to be careful. We got to be careful, man. Seriously, because you want a reason to suffer. If you want a reason to suffer, you're gonna find reason to suffer. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. So I'm saying, man, I think a lot of us, especially in these relationships, you know, I'm with a man or I'm with a woman and she's doing this and he's doing this. Okay. What are you doing? It's a question. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's like you carrying something in your hand that's burning you and you keep carrying it because you think it's yours. You carrying something in your hand that's burning you, that's ripping up your skin in your hand. But since you think it's yours, you're gonna keep carrying it, feeling the pain. And this is what we do with relationships. We have somebody in our lives that's doing something, and no matter how painful it is, no matter how it punishes you, no matter how much you suffer, you're still carrying it with the pain. Sometimes the pain is telling you a message, right? The pain sometimes sends you a message. That's what pain really is. It's a messenger. Pain is only a messenger. And when you start to understand the message of the pain, hey Melanin, how you doing? When you begin to understand the message of the pain, you begin to just realize, okay, the pain is telling me that I have to release. Because the more you hold on to these people or things, you're gonna suffer even more. We're gonna suffer even more. So we gotta wake our butts up. We don't want to wake up. And then we find all these relationships that bring us more pain because this pain makes us feel alive. And many of us are not even realizing why you keep attracting those same people in your life is because you need that pain. Because that pain is the only thing that makes you feel alive. It makes you feel justified in your energy. It makes you feel justified in your anger. It makes you feel justified in your own belief system. It makes you feel justified in what you think. A lot of times we attract these situations, we attract these partners. Hey, Zadina. Hey, Michelle. We attract these partners because it confirms or reaffirms what we feel in our minds. That's why we attract them. Why do I keep attracting the same people? Because you are the same people with the same thoughts, with the same feelings. That's why you keep attracting the same people. You have to attract the same people. You can't attract anything else. And many times we don't even realize it's ours. It's our stuff. It's our shit that we are attracting. It's our minds. It's our thoughts. It's our feelings that we are attracting. And I think when you realize that, you begin to stop attracting it. You have to stop attracting it because it's not worth it. In the end, it's not worth it. I think many times, one thing that we must do is that we must stop having a type. I think that's the first step. Stop having a type. The type should be done away with. The type that we have, a type of people, the type of friends, type of partners, the type what you are attracted to, the type that looks good. Stop having a type. And I think that type is what's screwing us up because every time we go for the same thing happened. Do we not realize that? Every time you go towards your type, what happens? It never ends well. It never lasts. It's the same issues over again. So your type is not your type becomes a typo. It becomes an issue. It becomes a lie. It's not a type. It's a memory. That's the first thing that we must understand. Your type is only a memory. And when we understand this, because this is not based on relationship expert, this is based on energy. The things that you see, it's like, for instance, when you go to a restaurant, you know exactly the type of foods that you eat is based on memory. Even though the type of food might make you sick, even though the type of food might make you gain weight, the type of food might make you lay down on the couch and fall asleep, the type of food might make send you to the bathroom, but it's not something that you should have, but it's a memory. The memory is so strong that it keeps attracting the same crap. So your type is not a good thing. Many of you, if you understand that your type is not your friend, it's your memory. And sometimes your memory keeps you the same people. One thing about the memory, it keeps you the same place for a long time. That's what memory does. It keeps you in the same place, same location, same feelings, same thoughts, same body for a long time. That's why you have DNA. The DNA is a memory. It keeps you in the same family, the same blood, the same relationship, the same people, the same ethnicity. It keeps you in the same place for the same for no matter how long you live. That's what DNA is, memory. So now I'm telling you, the type that you have is based on your memory, like what you have been programmed with. Yes, it's just so we have to understand those men or women that you think is your type ain't your type. It's what you remember. You have a certain amount of memory with them, a certain amount of past or thoughts or ideas, and that's where you go towards. And it always ends up, or most of the times, ends up in a place where you don't like. It ends up. So imagine if you go towards somebody who's not your type, what's going to happen? If your type puts you in a place where you don't like, you feel like you need healing, you feel like you're not happy, you feel like it's over, it feels like you have depression, then imagine being with somebody who's not your type. Why not try that? Because you know why? Let me tell you why you can't try it. Because you cannot bring yourself to like something else. You can't bring yourself to experience a new experience. You can't bring yourself to create a new experience in your body. Many of us can't do it because your body is not listening to your mind anymore. Your body is on its own. Your body has left the control of your mind, so we can't do it anymore. If you can use your knowledge and create reasons, create ideas, create different experiences, you can do what you want to do. You can have what you want to have. You can go where you want to go, but we can't do it. Why? Because we believe everything that the mind tells us. You can't do that. We believe everything the mind tells us. And that's why we suffer the most because you don't train your mind, but you listen to what it says. If you don't train your mind, why would you take advice from it? If you don't train your mind, why do you believe it so much? It's like somebody who went to school or somebody who didn't go to school, who don't have no training, who don't have no type of experience, but yet what you do, you train and you learn from them. It makes no sense. What's up, Otinio from Kenya? How you doing? It makes no sense. So if you're not training your mind to override your feelings, why would you take directions from it? Why would you take feelings from it? Why would you take it personal? Why would you listen to it? And that's what we're doing. We're listening to the mind that's not trained, an untrained mind. Have you ever seen an untrained teacher who fights kung fu and karate? Would you go train under him and he or she will direct you and you're going to take directions and everything else and instructions from them? Probably not. Why are you taking instruction from your mind that hasn't been trained? That every time the mind comes with something, you suffer. Every time the mind brings a memory up, you suffer. Brings you anxiety. It brings you depression. Why would you take instructions from that? One of the biggest issues that we have is a type when it comes to relationship. Is a type. Anybody have a type? You are quiet. You are still there? Are you all still there? You all are extremely quiet. You know I can't speak when people are quiet. It's like I'm speaking to myself. But seriously, type is too strong. Anybody have a type? Yeah. Sorry, you're listening. Okay. We gotta stop with the type though. We're gonna stop with the type. Do something different. Because you have to get used to something else. You switching it up this time, right? I'm telling you. And you know what the type does? It stimulates our minds, right? It stimulates our feelings too. Because when you see somebody who's your type, you feel that chemistry. That chemistry comes quick, don't it? When you see somebody who's your type, you notice that there's a chemistry. So what does it mean? Chemistry is also a memory. Come on now. Because when somebody is not your type, it don't create no chemistry like that. But when somebody reminds you of something, reminds you of a feeling, reminds you of this experience, chemistry is built. That means chemistry is not chemistry as you think. Chemistry is your memory that creates a feeling, because that's where feelings come from. Feelings come from what your mind is perceiving at that moment. Whatever your mind perceives, the feeling follows. Understand, this type that we are experiencing, this chemistry that we are having, is not chemistry, is just a reaction from your way of thinking. What if you're not you? What if you're not? What does it mean? What if you are not your type? What if you are not your own type? Then what? Is that what you're asking? What if you are not your own type? So I used to have a type, but now being more open minded is hard though to stop having. Yeah, it is, but it's a practice. Now, Melanin, I wanna understand your question better. You said, what if you yourself are not your type? Then what? And if that's your question, if you are not your type, become your type. Because when you become your type, you have that energy, and whatever you want, your energy attracts it. But like energy attract like energy. What I'm asking is, what if the person that you think is your type doesn't feel the same way about you? What if you are not their type? That happens a lot of times. That happens a lot of times. This happens many times. People want what, like you see somebody talking about, I want this, and this in a man. But the man looks at her and says, no, nope. Then you see the man says, the man, you never seen those men with those big old bellies, and they ain't got nothing going on for themselves sometimes, and they want this woman who is a CEO and beautiful, and she's like, oh no, you're not my type. Listen, you get what you are a lot of times. Now, even in what you are, there are differences in the other person, but you get what you are. You don't get what you want. Hey, Bryce, you get what you are. In this, in this life, you get what you are. You can only exchange what you are for something else that matches your frequency. You don't get to exchange. You don't get to go to a Gucci store with $10 because you can't get nothing from that. Try a different energy into my life, not getting the same type again. I get you, Kelly. How do I move past having a type? How do I train my mind to see other types as being potential? I love it. So this is when you have to switch from your visual and use knowledge and wisdom and understanding. When you see somebody that when you first, you must know what you want. First, you must know what you want, not physical. I'm talking about first, you must understand what you want based on your needs, right? You must know what you need. You need somebody who is this. You need somebody who is that. Somebody who's compatible. Somebody who does. It gotta make sense, right? It gotta make sense because many times the types that we go for is not the energies that we need, but we don't know what energies that we need. So the types that we go for ain't fulfilling those energy requirements or those characteristics requirements, but they give us a feeling. They give us a vibe. They give us a sexual experience. They give us this chemistry. And therefore, they still lack compatibility. They still lack respect. They still lack self love. They still lack all these things. But so what we ask for is not what we really go towards, anyways. But this is when you have to use your mind intentionally and see, does this make sense? Because it's not a feeling, it is facts. It has to be based on facts. Exactly, Jocelyn. Exactly. So, but what I'm saying is, what if the person that you think is your type doesn't see you the same way as their type? Right. But melanin, that's a lot of times what happens. That's a lot of time what happens. The person that you think that is your type don't see you and they have a choice. I mean, is the options. So this is when you have to realize that person don't see you the same. It is what it is. Listen, naturally, somebody could be your type, but not on your frequency. Just because somebody is your type doesn't mean that they are your frequency. Because what we want sometimes, see, many of us, like for instance, you never said to yourself, I want $1 million. I really think I should have $1 million. I really want $1 million. But the frequency that we are on is $10 an hour. So you are, yeah, you could want that $1 million all day, but if your mindset, your work stuff, and your business mind, if the stuff is not on the frequency of $1 million, you're not going to get it. So just because we want something doesn't mean that it's on the same frequency. We can want things all day. We want this big old house, but our energy, our money, and our thing could only afford a 1 bedroom little house, because the frequency that $1 million house is on is not on our frequency, so we can't get it. To someone who doesn't feel the same way about them, and these are the things that we should consider when we are saying we have a specific type. That is true. I strongly believe that, but sometimes people are attracted to someone who doesn't feel the same way about them. And these are the things that we should consider when we are saying we have a specific type. I agree. I completely agree. That's true. That is very true. And this is why we have to be we because many of us are delusional. Many of us are very delusional when it comes to this. Many of us are extremely delusional. We don't match that energy that person have, but we think, you know what, in my mind, in my ego, that's what I want, but that's not what you can afford. Because even when, many times, the truth is this, right? Many times our frequency is never stationary. Our frequency switches up and down, depending on how you live your life, depending on what happens, depending on where you go, how you feel, you have a promotion at work, you ate some good food, your frequency changes. Our frequencies changes. Your frequency is never the same every minute. You see what I'm saying? So nobody's frequency stays at the same for every day of their life. It's impossible. I promise you this. If you go to work and your boss tell you, listen, I'm giving you a promotion, I guarantee you, when you get promoted, that frequency goes up. Your frequency will go high because number one, you are happy. Number two, you don't think nothing bad. Number three, you're not insecure in that moment. Number four, you are just experiencing the happiness and joy. So you all those emotions, all those higher elevated emotions will elevate your frequency, right? The higher the emotions, the higher your thoughts, the higher your frequency. So when you get the promotion that day, your energy is high. You feel, listen, nobody can piss you off. Nobody can get on your nerve. Your frequency goes up. Now imagine in that same frequency. Now imagine this. In that same frequency, what happens? You go out tonight and you saw this guy or this girl, and they seem so high frequency too. The vibe is just nice. And you and this guy or you and this girl start talking. And oh my God, like, oh, it's a match in heaven. It's a beautiful match. Everything makes sense. Everything is flowing. You get together 3 days after. A couple dates have passed. Bam. Oh my God, this is the perfect person for me. What we don't understand is this. What we don't see is this part. Your frequency only went up because of the promotion. After you get used to the promotion in that position, your frequency come back down to where you are used to being it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your frequency now naturally goes back to the place where it was always at. Now you still have this person who was naturally a high vibrational and a high frequency person. Now you're in a relationship. Now his frequency or her frequency is still high. Yours now has dropped. What do you think happens? Do you understand what I'm saying? What do you think happens next? It can't work because the person left the frequency. It doesn't make sense anymore. That person start getting jealous. That person, you always smiling in these people's faces. You always seem like you so happy. What you happy for, huh? Why are you always doing this? Why? Because the frequency just dropped. Now, that person who's a low frequency now want that person to control and stop being an energy. This happens a lot. Now, what I was once attracted to, I'm not anymore. The chemistry changes. I don't really want you anymore. This is why we have to. This is what happens a lot of times without we don't even realize. For us to realize, we have to accept. We need to change and address our inconsistencies. Fairy tale expectations, right? Hey, Melissa, when we stop allowing ourselves to only date a certain type, we open ourselves up to greater love and a greater experience. I'm dating a man far from what I thought was my type. Yes, I'm telling you, like for real. Do you know, many of us, the type hasn't worked. The type that we have hasn't worked since. It hasn't worked. We met somebody, right? Long time ago, we met somebody, and this person felt good. They did the good things and blah, 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 blah. And then they left. Then the next person gotta remind you. That's why we meet people like, oh, you gotta be able to take me on this, and you gotta be able to take me here, and you gotta be able to do this for me and stimulate this and stimulate my mind. If not, I can't because you are focused on a memory. I'm telling you, your type is a memory. It's a memory. Just like trauma is a memory. When the trauma comes, your body reacts and it acts the fool. When that memory comes of that type, your body creates this substance and you call it chemistry. Your body creates substances, all these hormones, and you feel like chemistry because the memory is sweet. What you are used to is sweet, is familiar. So when the feeling is familiar, you allow yourself to release certain hormones in your body. And the hormones create a reaction. And the reaction is chemistry. And this is what we trust with making our decisions to be in relationships. This is what we trust to make decisions when we are picking people to marry. This is what we trust when we are choosing people. And this is the wrong idea. Is this not making sense? Oh my, am I confused? Stop with the type stuff. Oh, if he ain't this and if she ain't this, I can't. You can, but everybody think that they have all these options and they really don't. Social media has given people a million options. Reality has taken it down to two. Seriously. Social media has given us a million options, and in reality, we have two. Thank you, Lena. Thank you. This is what happens. We meet people. We meet people at a certain time in their life. Is age preference also considered to having a type? I don't think age preference is a type. I mean, I'm 40 something years old. I don't want no 21-year-old woman like social media be telling you all women that men like younger women. I don't want a 25-year-old woman to do what? I don't care if listen, listen, social media is ruining us, right? Social media be telling you men want all these young when a man has become established, he doesn't want a woman his age. He wants a 22 or 25 fine looking. Nobody want a 22, 23. I mean, yes, maybe a 28-year-old man or a 30-year-old man, but a 40 something. What the hell are we talking about? The compatibility don't make sense. I don't want you just to look pretty. I don't want you just to look pretty. That's it's more than that. No, don't get me wrong. I mean, maybe if I was in more in my ego, probably, hey, it's my ego. I want a nice, 25-year-old lady. I'm 40 something, 20. Nah, that's a lot, man. She's 25. She's fresh, easily manipulated. Maybe if I was in my ego, I would like it. But me at 43, I don't want that. Namaste, seminar. But yeah, so do you see what I'm saying? But age is not considered a type. It's more of a preference. Is more of a what makes sense. What's the best way to let go of the trauma memories so we can experience greater love? What's the best way to let go of the trauma memories so we can experience greater love? Wow, you going deep. That's a very deep question. The best way to let go of the trauma memories is to realize these emotions. I want but one of the best things that I give to my clients is this. I want you to sit in a room. I want you to sit in a room and let your thoughts go. And you to acknowledge your thoughts. And as you acknowledge your thoughts, take the day and acknowledge which emotions come to you most of the times. Which emotions do you have on a regular basis? Look at your past 2 or 3 days. Which emotions keep coming? Which emotions? Is it sadness? Are you angry? Are you insecure? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Which emotions do you always have? And as you see those emotions that you have, those emotions are limiting your ability to see yourself clearly because you are seeing yourself based on a perception of your emotions. That's what we are doing when we have all these emotions constantly. Because when your mind cannot stop, the emotions cannot stop. If the mind could be quiet, the emotions will quiet down. Because what you think is what you feel. What you think is what you feel. What you think. So our minds are constantly running, and it's running behind the scenes. It's running. Is unconscious. Because remember, the average mind, the average person, has about 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. 60,000 thoughts a day. So the mind is constantly thinking, 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 thinking. And as you think, understand, even though consciously you're not aware of your thoughts, subconsciously you are feeling those emotions from your thoughts. So sometimes your mood is up, sometimes it's down, sometimes it's left, sometimes it's right, sometimes these triggers come, so we have to monitor, we have to be aware and see which thought comes most and which feelings come most. And when you see which feelings come most, those are the ones that's blocking your perception of yourself. They are giving you a perception of their emotions. And all you do is that you project your emotions because you think that's who you are. So what emotion I feel is emotion I project. And when you project those emotions, you bury and you cover up the love that you are, that you have. So we have to be aware of the emotions. When you become aware of the emotions, now which emotions do you think will have you bring out love? You begin to practice those emotions. Which emotions? So when you see those emotions comes out, the anger, that misery, understand that's based on your background noise, based on your past history. So when you see the anger comes out, question, why am I angry? Question your emotions. Question everything. Test every spirit. Your emotions are spirits, right? Isn't that what you are saying? So don't just question people's and their teaching. Question your own spirit. When you see a spirit comes up, spirit, emotions, energy, it's all the same damn thing. I know we think it's different. When an emotion comes up, question it, test it. Why are you angry? Why are you sad? Why? Don't look for an answer, but look at your situations right now. What is going on? Nothing. Why am I sad? Well, I have no reason to be sad. That means this emotion is coming from the background. You are still there? You are kind of quiet again. These emotions are coming from background noise, background thoughts that's causing me to go back in the past, connect to a past experience to bring the emotion as is happening now. So therefore, you have to question each spirit. Why am I angry? Why am I mad? Why am I feeling insecure? Because it's not happening now. I am right here, right now. I'm safe. Nobody's harassing me. Nobody disrespecting me. Nobody's touching me. Nobody's punching me in my face. Nobody's doing anything. Why am I sad? So I question. And as you question those emotions, the second thing that you want to do, you have to come to those emotions and put the emotions there that that you believe will make you love, joy, happiness, because you have to reprogram your body. Have to reprogram your mind. And the way to reprogram your mind is to, can you feel happy? Can you feel, and it takes work. Can you feel joy? For no damn reason. You can feel angry for no reason. You can be afraid for no reason. You can feel fear for no reason. You can feel sad for no damn reason. Why can't you feel happy for no reason? Why can't you feel joy for no reason? So you begin to replace those emotions with higher elevated emotion. Higher elevated emotion. The more elevated the emotion is, it is the more you elevate love into you. It's the more you begin to reprogram your body into a higher state. The higher the emotions, the higher your frequency increases. Then the higher your frequency increases, your higher your thoughts change too. You don't have to let go of the trauma. The trauma is not there. You don't have trauma. You have memory. You don't have to let go of the memory. You have to actually be okay with it. Does that make sense? Reprogram your mind is a constant effort. Facts. It's a conscious and constant effort too. It's consistent. Consistency is how you reprogram the mind. You hear you heard what I just said? You don't have to let go of the trauma because trauma is not there anymore. I promise you, it's not there. Trauma is gone. I know doctors said trauma stays in the mind. If it stays because we have the same emotions too, the same thoughts, the same experiences. But what we do, we understand that we don't have trauma. We have memory. We have memory of it. But are we okay with our memories? Are we fighting our memories? We don't like our memories. We don't like the other memories. Listen, I have memories too. I got some of going to combat. And when those memories come, it's memories. I have some memories in Iraq doing some things that the average person will never do in their lifetime. Seeing things that you will never see in your lifetime. Memories are there. Kept me down for a long time too. Those memories kept me in a state of depression and anxiety and suffering in a long time. But I had to actually be okay with my memory. It was not my enemy. It's just memory. Memories are not enemies. It's just memory. Something that happened, we thought happened. And when we have these memories, is based on a certain perception of how we saw it that one day. And how we saw memory, how we saw something, it's not even real. We only see one side. Facts. Hey Riri, how you doing? I want to also add the man I'm dating that is different than my thought type. I attracted him in once I focus on my own positive vibes. Yeah, facts. Memories help with boundaries and discipline. Listen, the memories that happen, the memories that you have to understand those things come from a perception, a specific perception. How you remember something when you was 5 is not how you remember it at 25. Because you don't have the same mind, you don't have the same way to process information. So many times we have to retell those stories in ways. See, many times we have to retell those stories in ways with emotional ways to make us understand and how we connect to it now at the age of 40. When we tell our stories what happened to you at 5 years old, you have to retell the story in a way that convinces your current mind of what you think happened. Truthfully, listen, this sounds really bad. I'm going to say something that sounds really bad that you might feel I'm discrediting you. But truthfully, 50% of the story that you tell yourself that happened years ago is a lie. I'm sorry. 50% that you tell people is a lie because you didn't see the full picture and you was there only in a certain amount of mind of awareness. So many times when we look at our stories now, you are trying to process the story as a 45-year-old person, as a 5-year-old person. You are trying to process it of how it happened at 45. It's deeper now. So when you process the story from 35 years ago in your mind, of course it has to match what you think, what you perceive, how you think it happens. It's not true. I'm telling you, it's not true. And I know some of you all don't like what I'm saying right now because so you said I'm lying to myself? Yeah, many of us are lying to ourselves. Many of us are lying to ourselves, unfortunately, but it's not on purpose. It's just natural what happens. You get what I'm saying? Especially things that happen to us as children. Yeah, because back then we saw them as perceived them from a child's mindset. Facts. That's exactly what I'm saying. So we have to be aware. Many of us, listen, you cannot let go of trauma because you don't have trauma. You know, I want to say so much things, but I know I can't say so much things on these kind of forums. Because if I say so much things, I will be misunderstood and it will sound terrible for many people. Because many people is not ready to hear certain things because it triggers you into a reaction, into a feeling, into a blame game, into a pointing the finger. So that's why I hold back a lot when I speak on these platforms when it's multiple people because many people don't have they're not ready to hear certain things. Certain things will trigger you more, and I have to be aware of that. A lot of us don't carry problems. A lot of us, only our minds carry them. A lot of us don't have issues. Our minds just create them because that's how you are. That's how you function. That's how you see your parents did. That's how you see your mother and your father did. That's how you see everybody around you doing. First live, welcome, greetings. Of us don't have nothing going on, but we gotta create it. Do not accept responsibility or the truth of matters. Young age. I hear you. Does that? I'm just curious. How did that help you now? Like, are you free now? Like, are you peaceful? Like, does that help? 'Cause at a young age, I don't think many people do that. That's something that's brand new. So that's a good thing. Well, it could be a good thing. I'm saying if it helps, even if they are not ready, you still have to plant the seed. Eventually, some would understand. Yeah, some will. Some will. But I'm saying some of us, we don't have. Some of us, if you think about it, man, I know this sounds corny and cliched, but a lot of us, we have everything that we need. But we hear certain people, certain the elders say things like, everybody's going through something. And that's a very disturbing thing to be saying that we don't even think is disturbing because we hear it so much. And when I hear people say that everybody's going through something, and I'm like, no, everybody's not. They're like, what you mean? What do you mean? Why are you going through anything? What are you going through? You can stop. Because most of the things that we go through, we're the one doing it. We're not doing anything. There's not the trees are like, I'm going through this storm. No, the tree ain't going through no storm. The storm is just going, and the tree is right there. Seriously. Imagine if the trees can talk. What they say? Man, I lose all my leaves every damn fall. I freeze in the winter. This shit is terrible. I'm going through all this and I'm still here. I'm going through this. They ain't going through anything. Patricia, they're not going through things like that. The storm is happening. The trees is happening. We have to allow life to happen how it happens. You can't outdo life. And if it's messing with you, change your perception of it. If we can change our perception, life will be fully experienced in ways that we won't even begin to understand. But we can't let it be. We can't let anything be. We put ourselves in all these situations. Good, Patricia. Welcome to my life. Thank you for joining me. Good morning, Rochelle. How are you doing? Yeah, the storm is going through. The storm is just storming. The tree is treeing. When we look at life, we have to see the same way. Things are gonna happen. Things are gonna listen. If nobody ever told you this, things are gonna happen. But most of the things that happens, a lot of times we are doing it. We put ourselves in certain stress situations, certain relationships. If you put yourself in a relationship, I know you are stressed. Now, if you are in a relationship, thank you, Rachel. Hey, Belinda. If you are in a relationship, if you put yourself in a relationship and you begin to feel stress, and you begin to feel angry, and you begin to lose your peace, and you begin to get frustrated. Now, would you say I have a problem? Or would you just realize, well, if this is causing this, this, and this, if I take it with this, all of this go away. We can't do that. We have to connect it to it's not easy. We have to say things because we have heard it so many times. We gotta be careful of what we say to ourselves. We got to be careful of how we speak to ourselves. The things that we listen to, the things that we accept, and the things that we repeat. It's not easy. What is not easy? Is carrying anger easy? Is carrying frustration daily easy? Is carrying all these emotions that you can't stand easy? When What are you talking about? It's not easy. If you enter a relationship, and when you enter a relationship, if you eat a mango and the mango is making you sick, if the mango is making you sick and you throw up and you eat it again and you make it and it make you sick and you eat it again and it makes you sick, what does it tell you? Stop eating the mango. You don't have to be emotionally, yeah, I need healing. No, stop eating the mango. Stop eating the mango. Just stop. If you're in a relationship, if you add something to your life, a medication, a person, a friendship, a relationship, something, and it's causing your sickness. It's causing you to be, insecure and sad and hurtful and pain. Remove it from your life. You add it, it act up, you take it out, peace comes. What are your emotions? What are your emotions? It's complicated, right? Why are your emotions involved in that? Why are your emotions? I miss him, I miss her, but it's hard. Why is those things matter? It's common sense. It's very, see, everybody thinks it's difficult. So that's our problem. We get emotionally stuck instantly. We get emotionally stuck. Well, my emotions. Sometimes you have to leave your emotions out of it. So glad I decided to love on me and figure out who I am instead of getting into a relationship after my divorce, not knowing who I was as a person because I married very young. I feel you. I feel you, Lena Horne. I feel you. It's not complicated. If we use common sense, we will outdo a lot of these things. A lot of you, ain't nothing wrong with you. You are perfectly fine. I'm always anxious. You're always anxious because you're always thinking that you are in danger. Your mind is experiencing danger because you're in the same place, same relationship, same people that you don't trust. Of course you'll be anxious because you are expecting something to happen, something bad. Some of you are in certain relationships that you are anxious. You have anxiety. You are anxious, you have anxiety. Why? Because you are in an environment that supports that stuff. You're in an environment that you don't feel safe. Remove the environment or remove the person and then see how your anxiety dies down. Some of you taking pills, yeah. Some of you are taking pills, taking medication just to be around someone. Come on. Come on now. Listen, let that ring. Let that ring. Let that ring in your mind. Some of us are on medications just to be around people that we are with. Seriously. We are in heavily medication and therapy just to keep in that same company that's not good for us, that's throwing it off. So the medication ain't working. That's self sabotaging. The medication ain't working. The pills ain't working. The therapy ain't working because every day you go back to the same place that brought you that pain. We gotta stop the nonsense, man. Come on, we too old. Anybody in their 40s, 50s, 60s? We too old, ain't we? We too old. Remove yourself. We are too old. I can't do it. I can't do it no more. I can't do that no more. I can't. Even if I try to, it wouldn't work because it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. If I'm with a woman and every day I'm with her, I'm experiencing suffering. I'm experiencing pain. I got to let you go. I don't care how far we are. I don't care what. I have to remove you because that is life telling you this is causing this issue. Some things are not meant to be together. Some things are not meant to be. Some things are not, no matter how much you force it. And every time you force it, it brings pain. Every time you take them back, there's more pain. Every time you come back together, every time you come back together, there's a suffering. Sometimes you gotta say, hey, okay, you got it. Okay, I give up. I'm done. Not bitterness, not anger, not insecurity, just understanding this is okay, message. Message. Do you understand? When you remember when we had AOL back in the days, we had that email and it says message. We have to we have to get the keep seeking the message. Then you won't seek the insecurity. Seek, find the message. I promise you, when you look for the message in all things, peace comes upon you because you learn. The message teaches you, it's okay. I don't have to be mad at you or angry at you. Yeah, I have to separate myself. You used to sell AOL? That's funny. Seriously, man, listen, the message is loud. You take the messages. We are trying to stay in the problem. We are trying to stay in the problem and find a solution in the problem. Somebody asked me, Kirk, how do you deal? And I get these questions. How do you deal with a narcissist when you are married to him or her? Why? And you expect me to answer the question. Why would you want to deal with a narcissist? When I went to combat my first time, that's like asking me, how do I find happiness in this place where there's bombs going off, when there's gunshots, where people are chasing me for my life? How do I find peace? I can't. Leave first. Leave. Leave the Iraq. Leave. And yeah, when you leave, when I left Iraq, I still saw Iraq for a while. I still saw it. Iraq, whatever you call it. I still saw it. So I didn't leave. I left physically, but emotionally, I was still there because I was still going through withdrawal. I was still going through my memories, whooping my ass. But until you leave, sometimes you can't find what you're looking for. Peace, fun, and amplifying life. I'm telling you. So some of us, man, some of us are staying in this. How do I, Kirk? Um, Kirk? How do I deal with a narcissist? I don't answer the question. I think it's a stupid question. I really think it's a silly question. I think it's a stupid question. Who's narcissist? My husband. You trying to. So you asking me how to cope with somebody who's a narcissist? How to change him or change her? You're gonna lose that battle. You're gonna lose that battle. And I don't like those questions because those questions are never good. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what he is aware, what he's ready to do, what she's ready to do, what they're capable of doing. I don't know. I don't answer those questions. It's a silly question. Sometimes you deal with things in the absence. You deal with things better when you're not around them. And it doesn't mean that you are weak. It just means that you are doing something better with your energy. Sometimes I love your energy, Kirk. So glad I found your channel. I ended a 22 and a half year relationship, single mom. Wow. Man, listen, that's a long time. 22 and a half year relationship. Wow. How was that? What we are really asking is, how can I suffer more? Ain't that sad? Thank you, Melanin. Thank you. You can't cope, but a lot of redirection, and that's tough. If you are not a professional to deal with behaviors, but yet I agree, you can't. I'm telling you, sometimes listen. You know, life. Well, the world. Listen, this universe is huge. Life is big. There are more things that you can put your energy to than dealing with something that is going to make you sick. With a true narcissist, nothing period, no solution. They will play you until you're empty and destroyed. Ain't that something though? It's not worth it. That's why I hate those questions. With this big old world out there, with this big old world, with this big old beautiful world, there are more things to put your energy to than dealing with somewhere that you can't stand. Once I focused on my own self love and healing, I attracted an amazing man. I had been married 19 years prior to this new relationship, seeing what it is like to be truly valued. I'm happy for you. I'm very happy for you. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, man, some of us, we are perfectly fine, man. But the way how we think, it's a lot of time people already know the answers to their questions. Facts, causes of heart disease, other mental challenges is due to allowing these types of abusers. Facts too, Patricia. I'm encouraged. Good, Lena Horn. I'm glad. Listen to it. Unfortunately, we have been conditioned to accept situations because we think that love is what you do. You could accept somebody for what they are, but you don't have to be with them. There's a difference between love and relationship. It's two different things. And many times we think, well, because I love somebody, I have to put up. Because you know how we think unconditional love means unconditional tolerance? Unconditional love means unconditional putting up with stuff. Unconditional love means unconditional allowing you to abuse me. Unconditional love means unconditional let you do whatever you want. See how we think that? You see how we think unconditional love means putting up with a whole bunch of unconditional things? Is not true. Yeah, it's not true. Unconditional love don't mean unconditionally putting up with a whole bunch of stuff forever and ever and ever and ever. It doesn't mean that. It means, listen, I love you, so I set you free. So you can find whatever you want to find, whatever you need. I must set myself free because I love me too, and I can't keep suffering. Loving yourself says a lot about what you allow in your life. Because when you allow the trauma, when you allow disrespect, when you allow abuse, it makes you remove the love from yourself because you begin to see yourself through the eyes of abuse. You begin to see yourself through the eyes of pain. And when you look at yourself through the eyes of pain, you don't see love, you see pain. You see suffering. When you begin to look at yourself through the eyes of disrespect, you don't see yourself. You see someone who is disrespected. It's not, it will make you remove love from your own self. I'm telling you. So sometimes when you love, it means I have to love you. But listen, I gotta separate myself because hey, this is more important. I'm the vessel of love. I must protect the vessel. Hey Fifi, love joy, how are you doing? Seriously. Understand if you are the vessel of love, therefore you must protect it. You must protect it. You're right, Patricia. It's true. I agree. Done a terrible job. The one thing I learned from you, Kirk, is that acceptance is the first door opener, which is what we have a hard time doing because we don't want to let go. Belinda, I agree. Acceptance is the hardest thing because acceptance makes you see yourself. Acceptance makes you see your role. Acceptance makes you see and recognize your own contribution. Acceptance makes you see the truth. Acceptance is the hardest things because acceptance allow you to see what you are contributing to your own suffering. And when you see what you are contributing to your own suffering, it makes you stop. Hey, Melita, how you doing? But you are the vessel of love. Remember, you are the one carrying love. If you carry in love, you must listen. You know what you're carrying when you are carrying. When you know that you are, listen. If you have a bag, right? Check this out. If you have a bag with $1 million in your bag, thank you, Fifi. If you have a bag with $1 million in it, how protective of you is? How protective do you become with that bag? Come on now. Let's go deep. Let's go deep. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You know what? You know what? Let's go. Let's go. Because I want us to realize this right here. I want us to see this right here. Okay. If you have a bag with $1 million in it, how protective do you become of that bag? I'm sure you won't put that bag in nobody's hands that you don't know, that you don't respect, that you don't love. I'm sure you will guard that bag. I'm sure the bag will become very important because you know the value of that bag. Listen, when I tell you this right here, when I tell you that you are carrying the creator within you, you are carrying the creator, the weight of the creator within you. You must protect the creator at all times. You must protect the vessel at all times. The vessel is very important that you must protect the vessel because you are carrying something very expensive. It cannot be replaced. It cannot be replaced. Some of us rather protect our relationship than protecting the vessel, which is carrying the creator. That's crazy, isn't it? We are trying to protect our ego by not feeling bad, by not feeling guilt, but we fail to protect the vessel that is carrying the creator. That can't be. That's not supposed to be. Your first thing is protection. That's what you do when you love. It's protection. You must protect, which is important. And what is important? What cannot be replaced? Because many times what we do, what we do and what we do all the time is that we must disconnect from the creator to connect to someone else who don't have the frequency as the creator. See, many of us, we must disconnect from the creator because the message from the creator is always this ain't it. When you messing with somebody who ain't it, there's a voice that says this ain't it. Something is off. Stop. So we must disconnect from the creator because we become a stronger connection to that which not equally at the frequency of the creator, that which brings us pain and suffering. We must disconnect from one to attach to the other one, and it becomes an attachment. This is why we suffer so much. So now when that attachment, when that person is finally going out on their way, when they are doing all these things, when they leave us, now we go back to the creator and say, Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Lord, I need healing. I need this. I need to work out. Because you know why? You have disconnected from the creator. So if you stay with the creator, you probably couldn't keep that person. This is when you know that it's off balance. It's off balance. You got to make it make sense. Never disconnect from the creator just to make yourself feel good or connected to someone else. Because I promise you, the connection is garbage. It's garbage. The connection it will bring you suffering. It will bring you pain. It will bring you anxiety. It will bring you depression. You must understand, never disconnect. Many of us have disconnected because you know what the voice does. Yeah, you hear him. You know what the voice does. The voice is, nah, I ain't it. But he treats me good. She treats me good. She does everything. She does it. He or she does everything so good. And the voice is like, yeah, yeah, but something is off, right? Don't do it. But you know what? Let me convince myself to do it. So, but the voice is like, something is off. But they treat me good. They take me out. They do this. They do that. Something says, nah, I don't. Listen, I don't have to tell you why. I don't have to tell you specifically what's wrong. I don't have to show you anything. I'm telling you, just don't do it. You know when you tell your child, listen, chill out. I said don't do it. But why? And you want the reason, but I don't want to just don't do it. And we become those children. We become that child, don't we? We become that child. But why? He fits every check and he does this and she does this and she does this and she says this. Why do I feel off? Listen, it doesn't matter why you feel off. Just trust it. That means the creative voice is still in you. But you know what we do? You know what? I'm tired of hearing no. I'm tired of hearing your thoughts. I like him. I like her. I like the connection. I like the chemistry. So I cut you off and hold on to this one. And as soon as you cut the creator off, all hell break loose, don't it? But it wasn't like this in the beginning. And what we said, it wasn't like this in the beginning. It was never like this. It was never like this. And then he changed. Your discernment went to hell. Your understanding left. Your discipline left. The connection left. And now I feel lonely is not reciprocated because your love only comes from the creator, not from man. Peace only comes from the creator, not from your partner. Happiness don't come from your partner, it comes from the creator. See, all those things that you seek now in your partner don't come from them and they don't have it. So you have no sense of it. You got to give and give to make them feel full, to make them feel happy, to make them feel peace, because they had to disconnect. See, you reason why you disconnected from the creator is because they only source of love was you, and your source of love was them, and your love wasn't coming from them or coming through them. So therefore, you had to disconnect from one to feed the other. And now, when you cut off the creator, you realize how much love they gave you. Ain't much. How much peace came? Ain't much. How much happiness came? Ain't much. How much joy came? Ain't much, because they were never connected to the creator either. People, stop disconnecting from the creator. If the answer is no, let it be no. Don't force the answer. Don't force the answer. So I'm just saying, man, we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful, yo. But listen though, yeah, people ignore the creator, then crash and burn and ask the creator to help them when the creator was helping in the first place. He never left you. He just let you be you. Sometimes no one's a blessing. Facts, ain't it? I was in love with expectations for 28 years. Wow. Because they went to settle for at least a piece of a man. I hear you on that one. Always stay connected to your divine creator and connection. Facts. Always, man. And the person who comes in your life will feed you the same connection. It will look. See, the person who comes to your life will actually recognize. You will recognize the creator in them. I ain't saying that they're gonna be exactly what everything that you want, but I'm saying you will not hear a no, something is off. It will be, hey, listen, some things that you gotta put up with because it's okay. It strengthens your love. It strengthens you. So it's okay. That's a yes. But they don't look like how I. Yeah, it's still a yes. But they don't do everything like I. It's still a yes. I don't feel nothing bad. I don't feel nothing off. Sometimes you leave people who are completely yes because your ego say no. Sometimes we meet people who it fits every block, but the creator says no. And sometimes we meet everybody, we meet some people who the creator checked off, but the ego says no. We suffer, man. We suffer. But listen, I've spoken for long enough on here. I've spoken for over an hour. It's been an hour and 11, 12 minutes. So thank you guys for coming by. Thank you guys for checking what I say out. Thank you guys for coming by and giving me your energy so I can speak in a way that um uh, you know I don't know, but I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful Wednesday. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your evening. And I might be back on later on or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know when I'm coming back on. I don't know how I come. I don't know what times I come back on. I don't come back on. I don't plan these things. I just something comes to me and I spit it out. If I wait too long, it doesn't come out right. So I don't like when I wait too long. So I come out at this moment, but it's gonna be saved. Thank you guys for thank you guys for subscribing. Oh, Riri, you're still there? I thought you had left. Thank you so much. Um, Thank you guys for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. It makes me bring my message more and shows me that people are listening. So I speak more. Thank you, Melita. Thank you guys. So I see you guys later. Make sure you subscribe. If you missed the beginning, go ahead and rewatch it. And make sure you hit the like button. All right, so that my algorithm gonna take it. I don't know. Actually, I don't know how it works. I don't know how YouTube works. But I heard that the more you like or subscribe or something, it sends my algorithm or messages out. So please subscribe and please like. All right, comment if you feel like. You all have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful Wednesday. I love you guys for no reason because I don't have a reason to. I love you guys because it's me. It's coming from me. I love you too, Belinda. You all have a blessed day. All right. Peace, love, namaste. The God is recognized in you as is recognized in me.